Okay, T1, T stands for trig. 6 trig functions in a unit circle. This is only for honors. Go ahead and copy these down. And so basically, we're going to be using the unit circle. I'll be giving you a copy of your own unit circle. I have one in front of me on my computer screen, so I'm not going to have one to show on the screen here. But just recall that, actually, let's just recall real quick. All points are cosine, sine in the unit circle. Also, recall that tangent is sine over cosine. And also just recall that sine is the reciprocal of cosecant, meaning that sine is 1 over cosecant. And for cosine, that's 1 over secant. And cotangent is 1 over tangent. And by the way, these can be reversed. Cosecant is 1 over sine, secant is 1 over cosine, and tangent is 1 over cotangent. And actually, one more thing you should write down. Cotangent, because it's 1 over tangent, and tangent sine over cosine, cotangent is really just cosine over sine. Okay, so just real quick, going by the unit circle, if I look up 7 pi over 4, the sine, I'm going to look up the y-coordinate, and I get negative square root of 2 over 2. That's it. So sine and cosine should be really easy. You could also look up in degrees if you recall. Cosine is just the x-coordinate. So at 5 pi over 6, that's negative square root of 3 over 2. Tangent, so I'm going to look up 2 pi over 3, but I just have to recall it's really sine 2 pi over 3 divided by cosine 2 pi over 3. Now, sine of 2 pi over 3, so I look up the y-coordinate is square root of 3 over 2, and I divide that by the cosine, which is negative 1/2. Because I have a fraction over a fraction, I need to keep, change, flip. So keep, change, and I flip this over like this. The 2's will cancel. I have a negative square root of 3 as the answer. It's a negative. Alright. So when we find secant, cosecant, and cotangent, basically for secant, for example, secant, just find a cosine of 225. So if I look up 225, the cosine happens to be, so let's write this down. The cosine happens to be negative square root of 2 over 2. So to find the secant, all I have to do is find the reciprocal of this, which is negative 2 over square root of 2. Because cosine and secant are reciprocals of each other. And just remember, you cannot have square roots in your denominator, so you have to rationalize this. To rationalize, it's easy. Just multiply the top and bottom by the square root of 2. So I have the negative. Oh, I keep me not writing things correctly. I have negative 2 square root of 2 on top. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is just 2 on the bottom. Also, try to recognize if you can reduce fractions. You can reduce the 2 and the 2 right here to just negative square root of 2. Okay, so sometimes there's a little work involved. So secant and cosecant, you have to find the reciprocal. So like, look at this one, cosecant of 5 pi over 3. Well, cosecant corresponds to the reciprocal of sine. So I really want to find sine of pi over 3. So if I look that up real quick in my unit circle, I'm going to look up the y-coordinate. It happens to be negative square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so to find the cosecant of that, of 5 pi over 3, which is what we're trying to find, I just take the reciprocal of this. And again, we're in that situation where we just have to rationalize the denominator. So negative 2 square root of 3, and square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just 3. And that's all we can do because 2 and 3 cannot reduce. And you can't reduce these 3's because this is not just 3, it's the square root of 3. Cotangent, you can find a tangent and then flip that over. I think it's easier just to do cosine of 7 pi over 6 divided by sine of pi over 6. So let's go ahead and just do that real quick. Alright, so look up 7 pi over 6. The cosine would be the x coordinate. Again, I'm just using the unit circle here, and that's how I'm finding these numbers. Divided by the sine would be negative 1/2. I'm going to have to go ahead and keep, change, flip. So the 2's will cancel, and because I'm multiplying two negatives, they'll actually produce a positive. The 1 doesn't matter, so this is just the square root of 3. Alright, that's it.